Hi there, I'm nicodehaan, and welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced and natural wild world.
To recover our natural health, regain our rights and freedoms, I'm Ellen DeHaan.
It's a beautiful day in Durango, Colorado. Right now, 44 degrees with a low of 29 and a high today of 49 degrees. Sun is shining. It's a beautiful day.
It's beautiful.
Please subscribe to our Odysee and YouTube channels and hit the like button and help our channel grow.
And subscribe, guys. It doesn't cost anything. Just hit the subscribe button, and so we can get more followers, and that would be very helpful.
Yes. Also hit the link below the show notes. You can maximize your nutrition for Mother Earth Labs. And oops, this one. Yep, that's the one. These are the products that we use. There's a couple of products on there that we supplement our diet with humic and fulvic acid and multivitamins, and this is important to keep your
One-shot
health.
wonder. It's lovely to be able to just take all of the vitamins and trace minerals and so on that we need.
Yeah, and humic and fulvic acid are the signaling to help it absorb into your body and make it useful.
Tell your cell to open up and let the good stuff in and the bad stuff out.
There you go. Love it. And if you have any questions or comments, you can reach me at nicodehaan@me.com and or just comment on the various devices that we have, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Odysee. Yeah. And we look at mainstream news stories about anti-aging, natural health, history, climate, as well as our freedom. We do our own analysis. So all topics for today's show are in the show notes listed below in the descriptions. And that's really about it, I think. So let's get the party started here. And first off, we have some interesting articles about xylitol. And what is xylitol? Xylitol was first discovered in 1891 in birch trees in Finland. Really didn't take off until the sugar rations during World War II. And Finland was looking for a sweet substitute to sugar that was going to towards the war effort. Produced by
Can you fix the screen?
But make it a little larger?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, there you
go. Okay. I like seeing us too, though.
I know, but you couldn't see, you could just see you.
Oh. Okay, so.
All right, so produced by the Finnish Sugar Company, Finns were using the sweet stuff to replace sugar in many of their sweets and coffee.
Yeah, after the war was over, the Finns started using sugar again, and scientists started noticing changes in their country's health, and they studied these changes.
Diabetes and tooth decay were on the rise. In the 1960s, they recommended those with diabetes use xylitol due to the low glycemic index. More research was done in the 70s, discovering that during the tooth decay rate, discovered that the tooth decay rate was lower, about 85% lower in those that had consumed xylitol instead of sugar. And there were also studies that showed that the plaque buildup was reduced by 50% of those that used the xylitol.
Yeah, xylitol is not an artificial sweetener like aspartame or
sucralose.
Sucralose, or sucrose is, I guess, a brand name. It's produced by plants and animals. It's first discovered in birch trees and now more commonly produced from corn cobs and corn stalks. Xylitol can be found naturally in many unusual places. In fact, our body makes about 5 to 10 grams of this stuff every single day.
You know, it's interesting. We occasionally watch the Pride and Prejudice or any of those variations. We watch the movies, and there's a movie called Austin Land. No,
yes.
Lost in Austin.
Lost in Austin, yeah.
Yeah, Lost in Austin. And when Amanda finds herself back at
in England
at the Bennett household,
right,
she says, "I need to brush my teeth," and they say, "Here's the birch right here," and I never thought about it too much. I just accepted it as part of the movie. But now reading this and finding that it was used as a toothpaste.
Yeah, in fact, our ancient cultures, and we'll go into that later about that. It has a low glycemic index. Lowers the risk of heart attacks, controls diabetes, lowers blood cholesterol, controls hunger. And I find that too when I use it. And the way I use it is that I do, well, we talked about oil pulling in the past. And for many years, I used sesame oil. And then I started using xylitol in the evenings. And in the morning, I'd still use the oil. And then in the evenings, so I try to use it
at least once a day.
At least once a day,
Usually
sometimes 2 or 3 times a day.
But also you were having some issues with your teeth. So
yeah, my
sensitivity.
my dentist had recommended a root canal.
And you had one before; it didn't go well.
Well, the root canal, it's not pleasant, first of all, the root canal. But what happened was about 2.5, 3 years after the root canal, the guy says, well, now the tooth is really bad. You got to remove it. And then I did some history, and that's pretty much what happens. If the bacteria that's in there doesn't really go away. So yeah, they took the nerve out. So the pain isn't there for a while, but then it starts spreading, and the bacteria is getting in there anyway. And then you have to get your tooth pulled. So I said no, and so I started using xylitol more often. And
how do you take it? Like, how much do you put in?
I put about a quarter of a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, it's more like a half.
Because it expands in your mouth, it expands with your saliva and everything like that.
And then you switch it around for how long?
About 15 to 20 minutes.
And then you spit it out.
And then you just spit it out. With the oil, you used to have to rinse your mouth and stuff. With the xylitol, you can just kind of, just spit it out and you're okay. And then it's recommended that after about an hour, then you can drink something. But you want the xylitol to work. And the way it really works, it explains in some of these articles.
Let's see if we get some more explanation here. And if not,
we'll
go back in.
The way I've heard it is that it feeds good bacteria and it starves bad bacteria. And it does take a little while. So I had this problem with my tooth hurting, and I kept using the xylitol. And I went back to the dentist. He says, well, there's a little pus in there. And I found the hurting came back, the soreness. So then he probed real deep, and I said, maybe now I'll use more xylitol. So I'll do it more often. And so that was in like October, I think.
A few months ago.
Yeah, a few months ago. And since then, and the pain went away within like 3 days. And then I've been using it. And then once it came back slightly, so I probed with one of those little brushes in the pocket. So the pocket would be exposed to the xylitol. And since that time, which was November 1st, I haven't had any problem at all. So it really does help. But it really cleans. I've also used some xylitol spray in my nose. And these are the 2 cavities that bacteria get into.
We use xylitol toothpaste.
And we use xylitol toothpaste. It really, really helped keep everything clean. Also, I think you have less chance of getting a cold or the flu and things like that.
And it cleans your teeth, and it helps. According to the research, it does gradually add to your enamel and help with whitening a little bit. It's not a magic potion.
It's not like fluoride where it hardens things, but I think there's natural hardening can take place. It's the biggest problem we have is the bacteria, the bad bacteria in our mouth. We have good bacteria, bad bacteria. We don't want the bad.
And plaque.
And plaque.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me. I've never had an issue with a lot of plaque in my mouth, but going get my teeth cleaned, there's always a little plaque in a couple of spots. And the last time I had my teeth cleaned, the dentist says, you have hardly any plaque at all.
Yeah, and the same with mine.
And now that I'm always using the xylitol as your first ingredient toothpaste, I have, after I brush my teeth,
everything's slippery.
Completely, just like I just walked out of getting my teeth cleaned.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. There are some downsides, they say. Xylitol has some downsides, as all things do. First, xylitol is lethal to dogs, so don't feed it to your pets. The other thing is xylitol can cause some GI stress if too much is consumed too quickly. Now, I don't really consume it.
No, we don't eat it.
But you can put it in your coffee and stuff like that, and your body over time will get used to it.
And very quickly, apparently, a few weeks. Yeah. And it says that, and it was interesting because I just recently read something that said that xylitol was not deadly to all dogs, just to some dogs, but don't feed it to your dog.
Yeah, well, that's for sure.
Don't feed it to your dog.
Yeah.
But it says,
how does xylitol work to reduce cavities and plaque? First, xylitol is easily consumed by the bacteria, just like sugar. However, once inside, the bacteria doesn't have the metabolism machinery to break it down. The bacteria has to get rid of it, and so it spends its energy pumping the xylitol out. And since it can't metabolize the xylitol, it can't produce the acids and carbohydrates nets. So the bacteria lose their hold on the tooth surface and slide off, and that's how plaque and cavities are reduced.
yeah. Now you can use xylitol in baking cakes and cookies, a sweetener for tea and coffee, and it can be used on cereal and fruit. And according to this article, it can be used to make candy like taffy and caramels, but it's not good for baking bread because if it's a yeast bread, the yeast needs sugar to make it rise,
Right.
and it doesn't process the xylitol the same way.
Yeah, xylitol is readily found in gums and mints, which makes it easier to get into the benefits of oral health.
Now, they do say that they recommend you chew 6.5 grams of gum for no more than 5 minutes, up to 3 to 5 times a day.
Yeah.
And to do it, if you do it after you eat or had snacks, and it helps, but don't do it more than 5 minutes. Don't sit there and chew your gum for 30 minutes.
And don't combine it with the other artificial sweeteners.
Yeah, it's definitely not. You don't want anything. You want to look at your ingredients on the mints or the gum, because it could have other artificial sweeteners like sorbitol and maltitol.
Yeah.
And those apparently reduce the effectiveness of xylitol.
Yeah, and it can be found in toothpaste and mouth rinses, and works synergetically with fluoride. Yeah, with fluoride to create strong teeth and healthy gums.
But we don't recommend fluoride, but that's just us.
The problem with the fluoride is, and this has been known for quite a while, is that your fluoride that comes in the water is industrial waste. It's from manufacturing, mostly, I think, aluminum.
Byproduct.
It's a byproduct of making aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
It's a waste. So, yeah. But the dentist uses, probably, I would assume that the dentist would make or have on hand fluoride that's good for you. You don't want to swallow it naturally, but if they use fluoride at the dentist's office, that can help strengthen your teeth. So, I mean, you can do what you want.
We don't.
I'd normally decline that because I just want the natural thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another article here about the ancient wisdom.
The history of xylitol.
Yeah. Most people are surprised at xylitol's great taste, and amazing to learn about its long history and how it's found in fruits and vegetables, the wood of birch trees, and even inside the human body.
And the oldest record of this sugar for oral health seems to have been about 2,500 years ago in a book of Chinese herbal cures. The remedy is sugar from the white tree for cavities and gum disease. The Chinese have known about xylitol for a long time. So apparently, currently in Beijing at Walmart, you can find drums full of xylitol gum at every checkout counter.
Yeah. In North America, where birch trees grow, and here in Colorado, we have the aspen, which is a form of a birch tree. Mm-hmm. Native Americans cleaned their teeth with wood from the trees. They made teething rattles for babies and used the wood as a toothpick for teeth and gums.
And in Russia and Alaska, the sap from birch trees is swished around erupting teeth. In other words, when the baby's getting the new teeth. And grocery stores stock birch sugar for baking and regular use.
Yeah, medical professionals use xylitol as a diabetic safe sugar over 100 years ago in medicines, and to balance blood glucose after surgery. During surgery.
Yeah. With the advent of artificial sweeteners and less expensive products, xylitol was almost forgotten. It was rediscovered during World War II when table sugar was scarce in Europe.
Yeah, xylitol was again used as health benefits were observed and recorded, and children eating xylitol had almost 50% less ear infections, and xylitol appeared to make cavities vanish.
That's amazing.
In 2001, an evidence-based review of the most important ones were carried. This is
Findings. Most important
studies, were found by the National Institute of Health. This review confirmed that xylitol could eliminate 98% of plaque in the mouth, whereas only 40% of plaque was removed by brushing and flossing.
Yeah, that's
Pretty interesting stuff, and I can tell you that it's really helped me a lot.
Now there's the next article is basically a series of articles.
Yeah, this last article here is just a basic thing, and this was promoted by the research for professionals that use Xlear, which is a nasal spray that's on the market. It's the stuff that I ordered.
Okay.
Okay, and they were just talking about different aspects of this. You know, you can use it as a nasal spray. And, they talk about the role of natural grapefruit seed extract against SARS. So they were doing all kinds of research.
Natural treatments.
Yeah, natural treatments. Can nasal cavities help tackle the COVID-19? This was in 2021. Xylitol blocks viral adhesion. That's a study on the human airway tissues. Nasal saline irrigation reduces hospitalization of COVID. So this is all the stuff that we really didn't hear about during this whole 3 or 4 years of COVID. And the other thing that comes to mind is that my dentist has never mentioned xylitol ever.
Well, he probably doesn't even know about it.
It's probably not, because most of, we've talked about this before, most of the doctors and the dentists, I presume, are getting their information from the drug companies.
The pharmaceutical representatives.
Exactly. And not so much the universities anymore. Although if you look at the finances that are going into universities, there are those same.
For research, not just universities.
Yeah. So they're getting funding for research, but they're getting the funding from these companies who want to do research on their products.
Well, who want to support their products, basically.
Yeah, I guess so. Because
and promote them.
Yeah, because financially they need people to use their products.
Oh, you don't make a profit if you don't sell them.
And xylitol, although it's not inexpensive, it's not really expensive. I think I get a 80-ounce bag for like $30 some from.
And it lasts a long time.
Yeah, it lasts maybe 4 to 6 months. So that's not really that expensive. And the toothpaste we use has the xylitol as the first ingredients. So in this article, and we don't have to go through it, it has different literature
links.
Yeah, for the inhibition of COVID virus, coronaviruses, different therapies for SARS, and this all links to the xylitol. So evidence of xylitol effectiveness against different kind of viruses, including the coronaviruses and things like that, using the nasal spray that this company is talking about, and using different fruits and things, seeds, extracts. So it's a lot of information. We don't really have to go over that. I just wanted to include it.
It's there for you to look at.
Yeah. So that's basically that.
Okay.
Then I wanted to go to this particular. I found this very interesting.
Yeah, there's 2 articles here that have to do with new developments of pharmaceutical type additives for
these are for
cattle
cows.
Feed.
Yeah, so it starts off saying, this article, this is a article that says 2024 climate tech companies to watch. Rumen 8, and it's bovine supplements. So these are supplements that they're giving to cows, and they start off by saying cow burps are one of the greatest sources of greenhouse gas emissions from agriculture. So we know.
Well, here's the deal. Number 1, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I think they burp.
They do.
They burp and they fart. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. So do we.
Yeah. Or maybe they're going to start to fine us if we fart.
No. The bottom line here is that first it was carbon dioxide's fault.
No, it was first carbon monoxide back in the 50s and 60s.
Oh,
because because before regulations of car emissions. Yeah, we were producing carbon monoxide. Now it's carbon
For
dioxide, which is
years,
plant
it's,
food,
it's
basically.
been carbon dioxide, which is a natural product that is created by, that is it's food for plants, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We exhale it.
We exhale it, and we provide
Hold
energy.
your breath,
and,
folks.
yeah, we provide energy and nutrients for the plants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, also,
So-
yeah, go ahead.
So,
Finish up.
but there's no absolutely zero evidence that carbon dioxide has anything whatsoever to do with the climate on the earth. It's just isn't man-made
that-
emissions are not sufficient to affect.
Well, we think that more of the sun has a lot more to do with.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
there new research is coming out all the time,
Yeah.
and so
But
now they're looking for something else.
They're looking for methane.
It's about to blame.
Yeah.
But how handy if we can make a profit
There you go.
from this new demon that we've created.
Yeah.
And so now they're saying it's methane. It's all the cow's fault.
And
Well,
if
funny
you look
thing-
at the research of methane, there's a lot hidden under the Arctic.
Right? It's frozen in the
in-
tundra.
yeah, and when
Mhm.
the warmth gets into the area, then the methane is released, and that's a heck of a lot of cow farts.
That's way
Yeah.
more than there are.
Let's go to the article here. It says
Yeah,
among
okay.
millions of cows in New Zealand and Brazil, a few are growing a little fatter and making a lot more milk,
A little more milk.
and they're burping a lot less than they used to. And it's all because of this new product.
Yeah, so they've got these methane reducing supplements that was developed by an Australian based company. And as much as, let's see, Rumen 8 is testing 3 forms of similar technology that promise to cut methane emissions produced by cow burps. It's funny, they never mention farts. And I don't think it's the burps that are the problem.
Well, I think it's probably both. But,
Yeah. Well, okay.
one is a food additive,
feed.
additive that's added to cows' drinking water and goes into a slow.
One and the other one.
Yeah, it goes into a slow release capsule that lasts for up to 6 months.
And it targets cattle in different environments. The additives can be given to animals at feedlots, but animals that graze might require the capsules or drinking water supplement. The feed additive is the furthest along in development at this point.
Yeah, the Rumen 8 technology works by interrupting the steps within a cow's rumen, which is the largest part of its stomach, that leads to the production of the methane. Upwards of 10% of the cow's energy goes into making methane as a byproduct of digestion.
Methane is a side effect of fermentation in the stomach. And by interrupting that process, the treatment lets the animals save energy, which then goes towards, here we get to the bottom line here, produces more muscle and more milk.
So it makes the cows fatter.
Yeah, makes them more productive and more profitable.
Yeah, so they have a pitch that the company uses. The company says its treatment can reduce methane by more than 50%, significantly higher than the competitors. Like there's other
Bovaer.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's one that's actually approved by the U.S. FDA so far.
The cattle's measurable improvements in productivity using the ruminate products means they should be easier to sell to farmers. Their extra spending on a supplement reducing the methane not only is good for the planet, but could also pay for itself by generating more meat and milk. Okay.
And something else really comes to mind, and you found an article.
Yeah, let's go to the next one first, and the next one is about Bovaer. Okay, Bovaer, and this is another product that has been created in the lab to reduce methane emissions.
This is actually just the brochure.
Yeah, but
Let me
the
put
way you
that
can
up.
click on
So
there's an English version, and you can open
it's
it.
a nice looking brochure for sure.
Well, it just talks about how Bovaer is going to help you. It helps the cows and it helps the planet, and it's wonderful stuff. And its customers are shifting to using it, and it's really a wonderful thing. And so then I thought, okay, well, there's got to be something, some side effects, or I mean, what are they, right? So I look it up, and the first thing that happens is it says Bovaer contains see. Experts have weighed in on accusations that milk sold in Britain's major supermarkets may soon be contaminated with an additive that's supposedly linked to health issues, including cancer. So they've got this, it's introduced into cattle food, it's designed to reduce the amount of methane they produce. And it's been declared a safe additive by both European and UK regulators, claiming it does not transfer into the milk. However, it seems that there's a potential, or some tests that have shown that it can interfere with male reproduction and male reproductive, fertility issues, as well as cancer. So now, wait a minute. So it says that they're not going to, they're claiming, well, the government looked at it and it's just fine. So Bovaer is a compound made of silicon dioxide, propylene glycol, and organic compound 3-nitroxypropanol. And so, but particularly the propylene glycol has been shown to be toxic to human life. And there were some interesting people that were workers who were handling the Bovaer were having skin irritations and all kinds of problems. So it says some potential side effects include, if you breathe it, the 3-nitroxypropanol can be harmful to your lungs. It showed skin and eye irritation where people were handling it. Then there were, at higher doses, it can cause cell hyperplasia and benign tumors in females. And last but not least, male fertility and reproductive organs may be damaged by this particular chemical.
So
the question is, okay, maybe it doesn't go in the milk, but what about the meat?
Yeah, you have no studies on this yet. So, I mean, these are questions that come up just by a search that you did.
Yeah, right? I just searched Bovaer.
Yeah.
Bovaer.
Yeah. So, potential problems there. It seems like everything that they try to do to stop this climate change thing is bad for humans. So,
whoops.
Yeah, not too good for us.
Not too good.
And the last article we have is about plastics, and this particularly.
I've been hearing about this for a long time, and the other day I was thinking, I gotta look it up and find out what exactly is it.
Mm-hmm.
It's black plastic kitchen tools might expose you to toxic chemicals.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay. And then you came up with this article. So it was perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
Whether it's technically recycling or not, plastic is often not recycled. On top of that, black plastic is a notorious difficult color to sort for recycling, and most of it gets rejected. To meet the demand for material to make new goods, black plastic from recycled electronic waste, computers, TVs, appliances is often used instead.
Recycling that e-waste can introduce toxic chemicals to the plastic material, including flame retardants, some of which the EPA has banned. Toxic flame retardants are intentionally used in electronic enclosures that are typically made of black plastic, says a co-author of a recent study that found high levels of flame retardant chemicals in common household items. As the study confirmed, these chemicals can show up in recycled black plastic that's bound for food use and toys.
Yeah, that's
the study.
Yeah, the study which screened more than 200 black plastic products found high levels of flame retardants associated
such
with
as polybrominated diphenyl ethers, which are associated with hormonal and developmental impacts.
One variety that was tested is linked to cancer.
And they can leach out of the plastic when they're applied to heat.
Yeah, the study found that the highest level of flame retardants in stringent-based plastic, styrene-based plastic, which is often shaped into single-use items labeled number 6, but other types such as polypropylene labeled number 5, and nylon commonly used in kitchen utensils also contain the concerning levels.
So it says, though, not that it is possible that recycled plastic of other colors may contain other toxic chemical additives, but they haven't finished the studies yet. So they're recommending in this article that you try other options. I have two black plastic spatulas that I've had for probably 15 years.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too concerned about 15 years ago what was going on, but I've discarded them.
It's a good thing. And you have options like stainless steel, which lasts a lifetime.
They also recommend silicone.
Mm-hmm.
And
you can use enamel-based things. You can use there's a lot of products like stone
wood,
products,
bamboo.
Yeah.
But it's not that easy to turn an egg. You
can always flip it like we used to.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. That'll be me right there. So, flipping eggs. But I do have a stainless steel.
Yeah.
Actually.
But so
it's just some interesting stuff. But if you have that black plastic spatula in your kitchen, you might want to rethink.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a lot of other things available. So my favorite tool is the stainless steel one with the wooden handle.
Yeah, I like have that now in the bowl.
Yeah. So, well, that's about it. Take a look at the xylitol, especially. It's really helped me. And I think if you get colds and flus and things like that, I think it'll help you a lot.
The nasal spray.
The nasal spray. And you can buy the sugar on Amazon, or it's available just about everywhere.
Xylitol. Yeah.
Xylitol.
And one of the articles pointed out that if you're ever stuck with an X and a Y in Scrabble, a very good word is xylitol.
Okay. There's a tip for you, folks.
XY. What is it? XYLTITOL. Xylitol. Yeah.
Yeah, xylitol. Hard to spell, easy to pronounce. Maybe not. Anyway, that's the show for today. So appreciate you sticking around. Do your own research. Link to the articles below, and you can Google some of those brand names and find some of that shocking information that you found.
Yeah,
which I don't have in the show notes.
Additives to the
not good production, reproduction right. Problems.
We know that there are significant difficulties these days. Women can't get pregnant. People are infertile.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of issues, and of course, all the hormone mess.
And this is relatively new. The last 100 years, it's
probably the last 50.
The last 50 years, much worse. The last 20 years, probably, is the most of it's happening. Mm-hmm. It has to do with what we take into our bodies and our environment. So it just makes a lot of sense. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.
Be well.
Bye-bye now.